Hey, what's up, everybody? Let's Talk Jets Radio. Once again, we appreciate all the support that we've been getting, on our call-in show Tuesday night, and especially during the live streams. I already talked to Tyson. If we do it again this Sunday, I'll definitely make sure I update the bingo board and I post it for everybody if you guys want to play along and drink along with us. But today, I just wanted to address a couple things because you would think, Wednesday in the middle of the week, kind of be a slow news day. Jets trade Jordan Willis for, a future sixth-round pick. Joe Douglas loves picking up all these, 22 six-rounders. Also, Jamison Crowder, he, I guess, did something to his groin today. He was listed on the injury report. But aside from all that, you have so much news surrounding Sam Darnold versus Trevor Lawrence. And in almost every single debate that I listen to, it really seems like the wrong questions are being asked. And so here's the way I look at it. I hear everyone saying, oh, well, Trevor Lawrence is a once-in-a-generation prospect. He has more upside, more potential than Sam Darnold. You cannot pass up the opportunity to draft a quarterback like him, and especially to allow a potential new head coach and Joe Douglas to kind of work with his own guy, reset the contract, all that. Now, that would be well and good, but the problem is, and this is why I say the wrong question is being asked, if you keep Sam, right, does that give you a better chance at a better team, right? It's not so much Sam Darnold versus Trevor Lawrence. It's the team around Trevor Lawrence versus the team around Sam Darnold. That's where I think the message and the debate is kind of getting a little bit confused. Okay. So let's just say, hypothetically, you're picking number one and I don't know, the Jaguars or somebody, they're picking 3 or 4. They want that pick. They want Trevor Lawrence. Joe Douglas, on the other hand, he starts off the negotiation process the right way, like he's doing now, not saying anything, not coming out at all, but maybe behind closed doors, they want Trevor Lawrence. That's the message, right? We've heard some whispers. They want Trevor Lawrence. That's their guy. They're tanking for him. Okay, cool. So he plays it cool. We're not trading the pick. We want Trevor Lawrence. So the value is going to go up. You're going to be able to get more for that pick now. So suddenly, as the draft starts getting a little bit closer, maybe a couple weeks away, let's say Jacksonville ups their offer to, the third or fourth overall pick, plus 2 additional first rounders and, back-to-back second rounders this year and next year. Is that a package that you can turn down? Is Trevor Lawrence that much better than Sam Darnold, where you're looking at the team that you would put around Trevor Lawrence, which right now we have no idea what it's going to look like. Yes, the Jets have cap space. They have the extra pick from Jamal Adams, an extra third rounder. We don't necessarily know what you're going to get. Okay. Now, if you have that number 1 overall pick, you trade it. If the new head coach and the new GM, and I know this probably isn't likely, that they would want to, work with a quarterback that needs to kind of be reset, kind of learn or teach away old habits that, Adam Gase kind of put in him. Obviously, a new head coach, new GM probably doesn't want that. Okay. But if they still see potential in Sam that, he's a 23-year-old kid. He's been given every reason to fail. No reasons for success, no weapons, no coaching, nothing around him. Okay. So if they still see that he is top 10, top 15 quarterback, let's just say top 15. You look at Mark Sanchez. The Jets were able to go to back-to-back AFC championships with him, with a great cast around him. Great offensive line. They brought in weapons like Braylon Edwards, Antonio Holmes, Jericho Cotchery. The year after they brought in LaDainian Tomlinson. They had the ground and pound with Thomas Jones the year before. Great cast around him. Rookie quarterback, second-year quarterback, back-to-back AFC championship games. Nick Foles, not a franchise quarterback, yet wins the Super Bowl, beats the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Okay, obviously, he didn't play all the regular season, but that stretch run through the playoffs was all Nick Foles. So the point being is that there are multiple ways to win. You could also look at Dan Marino, clear franchise quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks ever. He never won a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks of this generation. He's won 1 Super Bowl. So there are multiple ways to build a winner. And so I think that, yes, you can make a very valid and convincing argument that Trevor Lawrence is a much better prospect than Sam, could have a much higher ceiling, be a much better quarterback. Perfectly fair. Does that mean the Jets team would be better taking him first overall as opposed to using that pick to parlay it into a legitimate foundation? Because we all sit here right now and we look at the weapons. We look at the supporting cast and we say, this is the worst roster in football. It's the worst roster, the worst culture. Premium positions are a mess. We need so much right now. Does Trevor Lawrence really change that? To a certain extent, you can make an argument that, you get the quarterback, 5 more years on the rookie contract. I get it. But also, who are you paying right now? The guys that you were going to pay, Jamal Adams, Robbie Anderson, Le'Veon Bell, you pushed them out the door already. There's almost nobody left on this roster for you to pay. So the idea that you can't have Sam Darnold here and pay him a contract while rebuilding is ridiculous. You could absolutely do that if you still think he is potentially the guy. Okay. Yes, you have to be convinced. Yes, you have to see more down the stretch. And I understand he's still going to be operating the Adam Gase system, which I don't think really allows him to meet his true potential, but he should be getting back Mims. Perriman's back out there now. Obviously, the running back situation isn't ideal, but it's better than what he was working with, through the first 4 weeks. And that's what gets me upset, is that we've created this environment as fans where we were so quick to push Sam out the door based on a very limited sample where I don't think any quarterback would have succeeded. Not one young quarterback would have come into this environment and been successful. Now, again, the argument kind of comes back to how much damage has been done at this point. Can it be reversed? We see the flashes. Can he turn that into consistent success? Or are the flashes always going to be flashes and he's always going to go back to those, rookie mistakes and things that, are going to prevent him from being that upper echelon quarterback? And so I still think it's a fascinating debate. Me personally, right now, I'm still in Sam's corner. We're still in the middle of the season. He's a 23-year-old kid who, again, like I keep saying, weapons, coaching, nothing around him has been set up for success. So I think it's important as a fan base to back this kid. But yeah, over the last 10 games, you got to see more. You got to see him step up a little bit and show you that he can be that guy. And if you see enough, that's where I think you start having the real conversation. You start having the conversation of, what, by trading that pick, if we're getting, let's say, over 3 years, okay, you have 8 first-round picks to be able to invest in this team around Sam Darnold. It's hard to argue that might be the best team. Not the best quarterback. Trevor Lawrence could be the better quarterback, but the best team, that also could potentially hinge on what you can get back for Sam Darnold. If he lights it up the rest of this year, maybe you still can get a first-round pick for him. And then maybe the conversation changes also, where it's like, you know what? We can get a first-round pick for Sam. Maybe we get 2 for Trevor Lawrence, but we still think he's that much better. We're going to go with Trevor Lawrence instead. That would be fair. So I think that there's still a lot of stuff to kind of see play out at this point. What you could potentially get back in a trade for Sam, what you could potentially get in a trade for that number 1 pick if you get it as well. If, the Jaguars, Giants, Falcons, whoever, if they're not offering much for it, let's just say it's a future 1 and maybe, a future 3rd rounder or something like that. You know what? That's not enough to pass on a generational talent. No, that wouldn't be enough. But again, if it's a Herschel Walker type of package where you could truly rebuild this roster like we all know needs to be done with legitimate foundational pieces at premium spots, offensive line, wide receiver, pass rusher, cornerback, all of those positions right now, they are a mess. Okay. With this trade, plus the 2 first-rounders you have from Jamal, plus having all of your other picks, plus having plenty of cap space that you didn't spend this year that you could roll over into next year, to me right now, that would be the best team. That would be the best team. And without having anything like really to say, Sam Darnold's going to be a complete bust, I'd like to see that team around Sam Darnold. I really would. I still have plenty of confidence in this kid. I know a lot of people have jumped off the bandwagon. They see the rookie mistakes that he makes sometimes, and they think, this kid should have it all figured out. Surprisingly, Adam Gase actually had his back today. I was shocked to hear that. One of the first times I feel like he's ever supported a player. And he pretty much said, we were in survival mode. Sam was in survival mode. They were drawing up plays and formations on the sideline during, I think it was the Niner game that he mentioned, where they were down to 2 wide receivers. So again, like we could look at the film and say, oh, that guy was open. But did he have any chemistry with that wideout? Did they have any chance to develop timing? Was it a play that they just put together on the sideline? Like all these little things, like we just don't know. And I think it's beyond clear. Most people would agree they have not given him a chance to succeed. So it becomes, a question of how much damage has been done. What's the ceiling on Lawrence? Does a new coach, a new GM still believe in Sam? And what kind of trade package can you get for both the first-round pick and for Sam? And you have to weigh all those options. So I don't think it's as cut and clear and dry as most people are making it out to be, where it's just Sam Darnold versus Trevor Lawrence. So again, these debates are going to heat up over the next few weeks. You can bet that. And looking forward to talking with you guys, and we'll talk to you guys soon.